Hello guys, welcome along to another video. Let's just get straight in, get this emptied out and see what we've got inside. Right, I've stripped out everything that I put in it before. There's a lot of Range Rover stuff and a lot of Discovery stuff. I've kept stuff like the Discovery steering column, gear selector, clocks, that's the ECU for the engine, the transfer box connector. That will be the Range Rover centre console, but I've kept the disco wood insert as well as the original Range Rover one. We've got the parcel shelf, which is obviously Range Rover, the sides, a bit of a spare panel, the heater box and the fan, the pedal mount, the ABS unit, inner arches, obviously the Range Rover grille. We've got various bits of carpet here. I need to work out what's what. That's a full Discovery 2 TD5 loom that come with that engine in case we need to reloom the car. And I've kept the seats in case I need any of the electrics for keeping the heated seats and the electric seats in comparison to the Range Rover. So what we're left with is a bit of a shell. You can see we're definitely going to need a boot floor. Although only really one side, but the back is also getting a bit grotty. So it's going to need changing. It's all the way down that side. Let's have a look a bit at the front. It's not too bad down here, but I think it's not great. I think the whole boot floor needs changing. The rear footwells are okay. There's no problem there. The rear inner arches seem okay. They'll go again. Obviously this bit here won't, but they're common on Discoveries and Range Rovers. And I think we're going to need seals and stuff, but we'll see when we get the body off. Everything looks okay in here. Obviously the dash is still in situ with the steering wheel, column, and etc. Most of this will be the same as a Discovery 2, so I should be able to get this dash out and mix and match. Now obviously the switches are in a different position, but we'll see where we're at with those when it comes to the Discovery, and the headline's in there as well, and it's not too bad. So what we need to do now is move it over onto the ramp, lift the body off the chassis because it is just resting, and then we can get this shell on the dollies so we can see what we're looking at, and then obviously the chassis can then have work and we can decide whether we're going to keep the chassis or replace it. So let's get the ZR van out, let's get it over that side and lift this body off. Okay, so it's here. I'm about to lift the body off, but I needed to check the Brooklands bumper fitted before I had the body off. And yes, it fits over the D2 mounts and mounts up fine because it doesn't actually bolt to the back of the chassis. It bolts to the side of the body. So, yeah, it sits on top of the chassis rails and then bolts at the side. So it does fit fine. So that's a relief. We can take that back off and now get the body off. Okay, we are on the dollies and off the lift. You can really start to see how bowed that front panel is. There's no structure in this at all. And that one is just as, well, you can see that one's all kinked as well there. So yeah, so this front end is definitely toast. We will get the bumper off, sorry, get the bonnet off and get into the bulkhead as well at some point. But now this is over here, I just need to sort of move all this lot out so I can push it right up the back here, and then I can get the chassis back in, the rolling chassis, which at the moment is just sitting outside. So yeah, successful separation. As I say, it wasn't bolted down, but it is on my little trolleys now, so I can wheel it around. So obviously when it comes to fitting new panels, it's going to have to go back on a chassis so it can be bolted down to make sure it's all in the right position. But especially as that one's so twisted, you can't really take any measurements or anything. So, but for getting other bits done, like the boot floor and you know, wheel arches or footwells, probably we can probably leave it as it is. Or as I say, I might leave this for now, concentrate on the chassis, get that all nice and ready to go. And then I can drop it back on to do other bits. I'll see what the welder thinks, what he thinks he's going to need to do. But yeah. So, right, let's get this sort of put away as such for now. Right, so the chassis is now back in. So as you can see, it is a TD5 automatic. Can only really be an automatic in a Range Rover. So that was my thought on doing this. So obviously still got the LT230 and the double carbon props, everything's still attached. The previous owner to me, well, I know both, I know the last two owners actually. Not the last, but the one before the last, he had these ace pipes changed. Obviously, I'll be removing ace, I would imagine. Don't know yet. I'm wondering if I can get it in the Range Rover. It might still be nice to keep. It was converted to springs. All the air kit is still there, but when I do this, it's going to be air all round. So I'm going to put airlift management on it. So yeah, to try and make it as, you know, I could get all the LSE stuff, but it's hard to get hold of these days. So it's probably just as easy to put Disco 2 bags all round like I have on the Defender and have an airlift manager. I probably won't have paddle valves. I'll have electronic management because obviously with a Range Rover, you really want it to be height censored and automatic. You don't really want to be piddling about with paddle valves. So what we need to do, hang on, let me just go around the other side. So yeah, we'll take off all the air, get rid of that, and you know, the original air. We'll need to have the tank out and check the chassis and see how bad it is, because these normally rot from the inside out. I mean, I haven't really looked at it yet to see how bad it is, but once the tank's out, we'll have a good view, and then we'll make a decision. We'll have to have, well, either re-drill these, oh, sorry, not these ones are the right ones, re-drill the front ones to suit these holes, which we'll probably do if we're going to keep this chassis, and then have the airbag, be able to have the airbags on the front, and then yeah, decide what we want to do with the ace, whether we take it off. I mean, it all looks a bit old and decrepit. It might be worth just taking it off and putting some manual roll bars on, and not worrying about it. There's one less thing to worry about, which is probably what we'll end up doing in all fairness. So yeah, so I think next job, as I say, is to strip the tank out, see how bad the chassis is at the back, as to whether we're going to work on this chassis, and if it's all good there, or it's only going to need minimal repair, we'll then begin stripping it. If it turns out to be quite bad, then we'll either have to put a rear quarter chassis on it, or we'll have to save up and just buy a new one like we did with a Defender. Preferably, I'd probably prefer to buy a new one, but obviously the cost is quite significantly different. Although if we have to replace a lot of stuff on the back, it won't be that much different. So again, we'll all have to see. So next job will be getting that tank out. Hello. So I'm sitting here in my tractor. I got a phone call on Wednesday asking if I could pop in Thursday for a chat and look to get started. Well, Thursday I went in for a chat and they took me straight out to work. So I've been rolling fields on yesterday. I did 3 yesterday, and I'm just waiting to go into my 8th now. He's drilling it at the moment. So I've started. I haven't asked him if I can film any of it yet, because obviously it's all sort of happened really quickly, but I'll try and get as much as I can. Here's a film of my roller opening up or closing. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, he's drilling and I'm just going around rollering afterwards. He's had a bit of a head start on me because he takes a bit longer than what I do. The process is a bit quicker, so I've caught up with him now. So he's just finishing this field off and then it's my turn to go in, and it'll be my 8th one for the day, and then I presume we'll be going home, but we'll see. Anyway, today's Friday now. I can't remember what I filmed this week, but I've been a bit busy at my nan's and doing groundworks over there. Hired a digger in. Don't think I got any footage of that, but yeah. Tomorrow though, we're off to Dunsfold Land Rover museum. Me and a couple of mates are heading over there, so I'm looking forward to that. I went last year with the wife, but at least now I can talk Land Rovers with my geeky friends like me, because the wife wasn't overly interested, I'll be honest. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know what was going on. Right, I've got the tank out. Oh, looks like it's starting to leak a touch. Let's put that back down. I've given it a good clean up. This side isn't too bad at all. It's a bit grotty along here, but solid. But it's this side that is the unpleasant one. You can see there's a hole there, and you can see there's a plate that's been welded on before at the bottom. So that side has definitely gone. So the question is, do I strip it and blast it and see what we're left with and repair it? Do I strip the Range Rover that's in the barn and see what that chassis is like? All right, it's not a Discovery 2 TD5 one, so we'd have to change engine mounts. But we've got to change mounts on this anyway, because the rear body mounts are different. So do we see what that chassis is like? Or do we make a hybrid of the two? So, do I get this blasted? And do we change the rear cross member from the other one? All things to contemplate. Regardless, this really does need blasting and then painting. So really it does need stripping down. So potentially we should crack on with that. I don't know whether to bring the other Range Rover in and take the body off and see what the rolling chassis is like on that one before we go crazy. Because obviously a lot of stuff I'm not keeping on here, i.e. the shocks and springs. All the air, all the ace, you know, so stuff that I don't need to take off because it can just be weighed in as it is. So yeah, I don't know what to do really. I need to have a little think. Right, yes, I think what I'm going to do is bring the other Range Rover chassis in, lift off the body, and then we'll see what we've got with that. I don't think I want to change the chassis because I like the idea of it being Disco 2 hubs, running gear, and even registration, because I think that will turn a few heads. All right, it won't be tax exempt anytime soon, but hey ho. So I think repairing this one will probably be the best way to go. As I say, I'm wondering whether just to change the whole rear quarter chassis from that to this. Because I say these mounts are wrong. They're a lot lower on a Discovery. And I think if I remember rightly, I've got to move these ones because they're on the inside of the chassis on a Classic, and they're on the outside of a Disco too. So yeah, I think I've got to change those. So yeah, I think we need to get the other chassis in. But I've got another 2 pallets of my Nan's stuff. Her move date is getting very close now. It's in a week or so. No, a couple of weeks. So obviously once she's moved, I can then put all this in her new garage. So I'll be glad when that happens because it means I get my workshop back. But yeah. So I think today I'm going to leave this as it is, and I'm going to wait to get the other body in, the other rolling chassis and body in, lift it off, and we'll see what we've got. I think that's probably the best way to go.